Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Another fun-filled day, and it is TGIF. Thank goodness it is Friday. All right, it was a 4-day week here in the States, so it was relatively short. Uh, Obviously, we got a new Fura, and so we're just I guess, marching along, having a good old time here. Let's tune in to see if anybody's asking anything on the chat line. Let's see, it goes right to that. And opening up the old YouTube. And let's see. Let's double check the sound too at the same time. Sounds good. And I don't see any questions being asked, so I didn't miss any questions. That's a good thing. I always like that, even if it's only been 30 seconds or a minute. I hate missing questions. All right, so let's get it up. Let's get it going. Let's check out the Swiss against the dollar, moving down again. You see it's went into the sell here, and the last couple of days, it's the pressure is on again. We went into the weekly here. It's interesting. It tried to go up, and we'll see how that treats it. Obviously, it doesn't look like it's going to go into a weekly sell this week, but obviously, using that word for a second time in 15 seconds, we have a good shot at it next week. Now let's take a look at it over on J4X, and that's a weekly. We'll go back to the daily on that. And yeah, why not? Let's take a quick look at the weekly too and see how it relates to our Chicago quant. It's ticking away, loading up. So you can see here, we're in the weekly here. Let's see where the white, and that's it. See that right there? It is through there also at the same time. So there's the weekly, and let's stretch it out a little bit so it's not too freaky. The pressure has been on that, just like the weekly was on the Swiss, and how the Swiss went into a buy last week, with ours doing the weekly here, which is something we rarely do, is look at the weekly and compare it to our weekly. We look at the daily all the time because a lot of people are kind of thinking on a much shorter basis. So you can see that pressure is working real well with the J4X. It's a little laggard, of course, because let's see how it goes here. So it goes into the weekly sell here in November on this, and let's just take a look at that. And it does break down, so that's pretty good. And you can see this buy that kicks out in what is that? That's December, I guess it is. No, what would that be? That would be August. Okay, let's see what August looked like on here. So it went into a buy in August. Ours went into a buy in September when it really lifted up there. So I guess it was about 3 or 4 weeks ahead, behind, maybe something like that. And it got that pop. This was just much more, again, a little bit more advanced. That's all. That's pretty cool. But let's go back to the daily now. But something for traders to think about is you can flip back and forth. We don't really look at it that way with these lines, but they are insightful on a weekly basis also. So it's something well worth paying attention to. Let's see now. What do we got here? Hey, hey, hey. Let me put my glasses on. There we go. Zafrov, how are you doing? Good to see you. TGIF, thank goodness it's Friday, and who knows, it might be a Saturday for you. It's hard to say, you know. I mean, if you're in Australia or New Zealand, you're heading towards Saturday. You're in the future. Back to the future. Doing fine, you know, just doing fine. No major complaints. You know, just looking at the markets, trading the markets, enjoying the markets. You know, same old game, different day. Let me think. Is there anything that is exciting me or angering me or anything like that? Let me think. No, everything seems to be pretty good, I guess. So, are you behind us? Are you ahead of us in time? Where are you in the time frame of life? You know, a day. Are you uh, are you 8 hours ahead of us? Are you 6 hours behind us? You know, see. Are you 12 hours ahead of us? No major complaint. What about Biden? No, he's no different. He's the same Biden. It reminds me of like one of those TV commercials, you know. Uh, Biden is not exactly going to change any. Biden is Biden. He's a career politician who has taken a lot of money illegally throughout the years from countries and organizations, and I guess they're starting impeachment work on him now over that. So we'll see how far that goes, because he's the same. You know, Biden stealing Neil Kinnock's speeches and republishing them over here in the United States as if they were his. Biden has always been Biden. He's a clown. There's not much more way of describing that. I was impressed that he lasted 14 minutes for his inauguration, you know, speaking 14 minutes straight, because he really has a problem speaking more than 2 sentences without losing his breath. So that's kind of really wild there. That's why EU likes him so much. Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. Oh, you're, okay, GMT +2. Yeah, so, yeah, of course, you know, I mean, he can be bought very easily. He has been bought. You know, he's worth, I guess, $100 and some odd million. I mean, how do you make 150 or $200 million when you get paid $180,000 a year in salary? You take a lot of money under the table. It's just that his son has done some disingenuous stuff in the sense of against his father. His son was collecting the money and then sharing it with everybody in the family and distributing it out. And for some reason, the kid, for whatever reason, left the evidence to be seen. So that's why the Republicans now are working on filing an impeachment process in the House of Representatives. I don't know if it'll go anywhere, but he's done criminal things, so it's a matter of time before the long arm of the law catches him. But after that, Biden has always been Biden. There's no different. So it's all the same. So where are we at here? That's why we're seeing the dollar weaken too a little bit in here. We'll see. I mean, it's not exactly like the currencies really run around too much. I mean, look at that channel they had there from 3/4 of a year, or half a year right there. Now we're probably underneath the channel. We'll probably go the same way for a while until there's some comfort level of value. Mrs. Yellen, the Secretary Treasurer now, said she doesn't see taxes going up. So that's a good thing, I mean, I don't really expect Biden to do anything particular, policy-wise, different than what he's been before. And so, like I saw one thing. I remember when he voted for 700 miles of the border wall when he was a senator. So, he may stop. I think he stopped the building of the wall, but I don't think he's going to tear it down. Things like that. That's the way Biden works. He's a hired gun basically for the highest price. That's pretty much the only way to really describe Biden. Whoever pays the most, he'll do what they want. Cote Deport report. Let's see. What is a COT report? I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what the COT report is. If you can give me a little bit more information about it. Should I Google it? Let me Google it and see if I can find what that is, a COT report. Copy. Let's see what the COT report is. COT report Forex, COT report bar chart, COT report. The COT report is based on the political data supplied by reporting firms, FCMs. Oh, okay. The commodities. It's about the commodities, CFTC. You mean like who's long, commitment of traders. Commitment of traders. I never really pay attention to any of that. I know the markets do. I mean, it's a part of a fundamental. so I can understand that. Yeah, I think that's usually what happens normally. Is it's kind of like it's an excuse for some trading, or for buying or selling. But I'm not really don't really follow it to know it more than that. I mean, I've heard it for the last 30 or 40 years, but I never really pay attention to it. I mean, I try not to trade through any news at all. So my suggestion is when you know that it's coming out, don't do anything at all. That's my opinion usually. So when you see like the labor numbers coming out at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time in the United States, as far as I'm concerned, don't trade 5 or 10 minutes beforehand, and don't trade 5 or 10 minutes past it. So, Mach, 700 and some odd miles an hour, Mach. How are you doing? Yeah, that's my opinion of the COT report. I'll ask Robin. Robin follows it and see what he thinks. But I don't really pay attention to those things. That's not usually my style because I'm kind of quant orientated. I follow math. I'm watching the math all the time, and I'm not really watching anything else. So that is normally my speed. So let me just close this for a moment. There we are. So that might help a little bit there. I hope. But when Robin jumps in, I'll ask him about it. When he says good morning, I'll ask him about the COT report, and he can give you a better idea because he does follow things like that. So, let's see. Where are we at from there? So that's the dollar, and the way it's acting right now is there's a little downwardly pressure on the dollar, and the pairs trades are all looking pretty firm here. There's the euro. You see the euro, went into the buy here. Is it right there? Right there. And it's still firm, but we're in a weekly sell, so there's no real follow-through going on there. And then, Zafrov, if you have a particular product that you were paying attention to through the COT, we can put that up and take a look at it. And then there's the cable. Cable's doing pretty much the same thing. It's holding up firm. Excuse me. It's in the daily buy. Only difference is you can see here, whereas the euro is in a weekly sell now. You can see right here, cable is in a weekly buy from there, and is still in there. Doc, hey George, how you doing? So let's see. George says, Doc, you watch the quants, which means the math, or another way put, price action. Correct. I think that's the best way to describe it. And then what we do is our quant measures the price action in a specific way, and so that's what I try to do is when I know there's like what Zefrov is saying, about like the COT report. When I know there's news coming out on a product, I'll stay away from it. Wait, let the news come out, let them move it around, and then get back involved into it again. I just shorted the EU at 121.80. Well, let's take a look at that. Let's see, where is that at? That is, here's the euro. You see it's trying to break down here. Let's put it up on the J4X. And right there. And then we can also at the same time, let's see, let's open up. I just closed because I was getting an odd signal right there. Let's open that again. And we'll take a look at the euro and say an hourly. How are you trading it? In other words, what Zefrov, what gave you the direction to short it? In other words, are you watching like an hourly or 10-minute or 4-hour or 1 day, or what got you in? We always like to say in the old days, what gets you into a trade gets you out of the trade. So in other words, you don't change your mind in the middle of the trade. You just use the same math that got you into it to get out of it. So your stop is developed. You know where you don't want to be, so forth and so on. 1 hour double top. Okay, let's check that out. I know we have an hourly chart up there somewhere. There it is right there. We were looking at it, the cable. Let's replace it with the euro. And see how it looks in our math. EUR right there. Okay. So these two tops here, the 121.79.8 right there, or I guess it's the 121.89.7 and the 121.87. So that top, interesting. We're trying to break down here now, so that's pretty good. You can see the white line. Let's widen this for you a little bit more, like that. You can see the white line is playing with the manifold. When this closes, I guess it's going to close in another 13 minutes, and then we'll see if it actually generates like a minus, like right here. Let's see if we have a pull line up like that. You know, if we get a minus, and let's make that go all the way to the top so you can see it better, like that, and we'll just make it white for the moment for you. So let's see if we get ourselves a sell signal. Right now we're not getting it, but and let's see what it looks like on J4X on an hourly. There it is with our. Oh, it broke down here. You can see that. So it's trying, you know, to get into the minus side here on an hourly basis. So that's interesting. That was a pretty good call here. It flirted with the sell here, unfortunately, and it still kept on rising, and you would have gotten stopped out. And then this sell was a goodie, made money. And now this buy, I guess, was a winner, chicken dinner. It went up. Now it's breaking down again. So it's breaking down with your hourly. So that's pretty cool. So it's doing the same thing there. Hey, Robin, do you have an opinion? Did you see our conversation, or did you hear our conversation about the COT report, the commodities, you know, the CFTC report of open interest and all that stuff? Zefrov was asking about that. Do you have any opinion on that at all? Let's see what Mok says. Mok says, which time frames are leading, longer or shorter ones? Like daily will follow weekly, or weekly follows daily? Well, I like the two of them working together. In other words, when I look at when we look at right here, let's go to the euro here. So basically what we like is we're in a daily buy, which was right here, and we're still in a daily buy. Let's put the line in there. So we're in a daily buy there, and it was off the start of that bar because of the red green here and this across right there. Okay, so the day before. Problem is we're in a weekly sell. So my suggestion always is don't take the trade, be neutral. Because if it goes into a sell, you want to take the sell. So when it's in a buy, you take buys. But you only take profits off of the sell signals, but don't get short because we're in a weekly buy at the time. Now that we're in a weekly sell, you know, you could have joined in here, anywheres in here, with the confirm of the weekly sell, and tried to make a little money out of these last couple days here. There's the 15th, so that's the Friday. So pretty much we were underneath till like Tuesday or Wednesday. We went underneath into the sell, and so you know you could try to use the sell as an intraday play on the short side, and it was obviously a winner. But now that we're in a sell here, you know, it got you to cover off of this one right here. And so you can see it going up. We're not bullish because, again, we're in the weekly sell. We like to see these two linked together to take that direction. Does that help you out there, Mok? And we do say, you know, the daily can lead to the weekly. It can do that. So, commitment of traders, yeah. Do you have a? Oh, here we go. Robin says, "Oh, hey, Middle Age, how you doing? April live cattle and hogs. Sure, we'll get right to it. Let's put them up there, and then let's go to what Robin had to say. Well, there's the cattle. You can see cattle's been acting strong here. That's the February cattle. Let's give it a refresh. And then you can read what Robin said there. I have not looked at it for quite some time. My take, the commercials and large traders are generally right. Small traders are wrong. Good one. And so there, I would trust Robin's opinion, since I know Robin pays attention to that more than I do. If I don't know, I don't know. That's the way it rolls. Then here's the April cattle. Right there, that's not even in a weekly sell, whereas the other one is, the one that's getting ready to expire. The back month is in a weekly buy and has not let go. So there's the cattle, and then let's take a look at hoggers. There's hoggers. I guess we should start looking at back month hogs too. I guess we'll do that over the weekend. Do you have an opinion on that, Middle Age? Do we go to April hogs too? Is that what it is? I guess we can start thinking about doing that at the same time. And so you can see here's hogs. Hogs are in a weekly buy and a daily buy, and they've gone up, they've gone down, they've gone up, and they're up yesterday. And so that's what that is all about. All right. Now, where do we go from here? Anybody have any opinions going on there? We will, let me save these images too. Let's see, that was hogs. So there's that. And then let's save the cattle. Both cattles are in buys, which is always cool. I'll just do refresh again. I'll save that. This way. And then, where's the last one? There it is, down at the bottom. And I guess over the weekend we'll add the April hogs. And that would make sense. All right. Just waiting for any questions if anybody has anything. I think we've answered some stuff there, right? How you doing today, Robin? Pretty good? Yeah, I'm in April live cattle and watching April hogs. We'll make sure we get the April hogs up there. How do you see? We're sending out both right now, just because we try to think if I was trading that product, I'd want to know what both of those are. So that's the way we feel about that. We don't charge extra. Robin and I just send it out for the sake of being good traders. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Instead of charging more, we'll throw an extra chart on there for a while, just to give all the traders a chance to be able to make. The objective is you're supposed to make money. And if we're not doing something that helps you make money, then what good are we? That's the way we look at it. You like that? That's very ignoble, isn't it? Did I look at metals? No, Mock. We can go check those out too. Let's do that, and I can go through the metals sector. Gold, it was interesting. I noticed this morning, silver's breaking down. It had been in a buy and not doing anything too particular, but it's in its weekly sell. That's why you don't really want to play the long side here. And so there's silver. You can see silver's breaking down right there. And I'm going to save these things at the same time. And then you can see gold right here doing the same thing, breaking down. Let's refresh that, reload, and then save that. So there's gold. Let's move that out of the way so you can see it. Oh, move this down and give you a better view. No one said anything to me about that. There we are. And so you can see there, you can see here, it's been in a sell. It refuses to get into a buy altogether. It's just fighting it constantly. So the metals have been really giving us, a real sloppy action. And so that's, oh, thanks, George. Yeah, so, Doc, that chart is covering. Thank you, George. Yes, indeed. Notice that I was able to change it beforehand. See that? Even a broken clock can be right twice a day. And I'm the broken clock. All right, and so then that's those two. And then let's check out the copper. Whoop, where's copper at? You can see copper doing the same thing. It's breaking down. So all of a sudden, all the metals are heading south out of nowhere. Boom. Slide the doodle. And so there you got, that's flirting with a sell. They're all doing it. They're all flirting with sells out of nowhere. It's like, whoa, what's happening? Yeah. It's like all of a sudden, I don't know. I guess we're gonna, it's gonna be very volatile times. There's some good action, I would think. I probably have been making the case where it's going to be steady, but you would think that there'd be volatile times with the uncertainty. At least that's my normal opinion of it all, but it hasn't been that way. Okay, so now check this out, Robin. Platinum, more data came in on platinum overnight, and they added more data to it. And look at this. These brokerage houses and clearinghouses are driving me crazy. And now, so it's in a sell now. Makes a new high for the day, and they closed it in this officially in a sell. Like that. So this thing is heading south. How much down it is? Let's see. It closed at, let's see how the spread's doing. It closed at 28. And it's trading now at, oh wow, it's down to, so it's 28 and 6. 34, so it's down $34 from the close. Now let's see what gold looks like. Let me save this too. But all the metals seem to be taking it on the chin here today. Now let's take a look at gold again. And gold closed at, so what did I say, 34, right? So from the close of last night, platinum is down 34, and so gold closed at 66, and now it's trading at 42, so 24. So that $10 win yesterday has gotten eaten up. We'll see how that rolls along. But we're seeing some pressure here on all the metals. They're all running and hiding. Not sure what the issue is, but I didn't think interest rates were going up. It didn't look like it. Usually that's what usually instigates those things, is interest rates. Some type of sign of increase in interest rates, cost to carry, the whole bit. All of a sudden, we're seeing selling here, which is kind of interesting. Not sure what that's all about. So there's the metals sector. Now let's take a look at the oil sector, I guess, See what the oils are up to. So where is that at? Oil. Okay, so there's crude. Crude oil has been in the sell for a few days, and they're selling that down. Just for a quick look, let's see where Canadian is. I think we already know, don't we? Yeah, so Canadian is heading up. Okay. So that's normally when prices go up in oil, Canadian's going down in price, and vice versa. So that's doing that. Now let's take a look at NASCAD and see what that's doing, because that was on a downwardly slope until yesterday. Let's see, there's NASCAD, and then it turned up. Yeah, so it's going up also. So that's what's going on with the energy sector. We're seeing some pressure in that now. Also, at the same time, I saw Zero Hedge has an article out showing future weather over the next 30 days and saying natural gas could take it really hard on the chin if this pattern plays out. And so that, to me, looks like that's part of what we're seeing here is we're seeing the energy sector. Let's see what natural gas looks like. Natural gas looks a little sloppy there, but it's down today, that's for sure. There we go. So 2 volatility signals. Wow. Watch out, guys. Let's see. Last time I did a volatility signal here, we had a nice run up. That one, too. We had a nice run up. And then, let's see. Did we have one for one of these downdrafts? There's one there. That was nothing. Went sideways. This one was up. So 2 volatility dots in a row. It hasn't closed the second one yet, but I wonder if they're going to just clock this thing back down into the low 2s. So anybody trading the oil, we're in a that's the other weird part. Look at that. We are trying to get into a daily buy and failing at it solely because of the red dot, red dot. We've been in a daily sell since here, and we're in a weekly buy, so it's a neutral for us. So we're missing all this opportunity, but that's the way it rolls. You don't have much of a choice. So sometimes you're long, sometimes you're short, and sometimes you're neutral. Unless you're a producer, there's no reason to be in any position but neutral at the moment. If you're a producer, my logic would say is to, basically sell some call spreads or something like that until the daily gets into a buy or this weekly shifts, which seems awful strange, but it looks like it's going to probably shift going into next week. Let's see, Middle Age says, ever so often the COT get on the wrong side of the market. They had a record short in beans right before the big rally started. They don't lose often. I see what you're saying. Right, that makes sense. I hear you. Thank you for the input too, because I know that Robin used to follow it when we were both on the same trading floor. Robin was always looking at open interest and all that on those reports and all like that every day. I never really paid attention to it. I was always in the quant side of it. But he would say Robin had all these cute little sayings about it, and I would pay attention to them. Trust me. I would use it as something to keep me more neutral when he was saying something about it. Try to keep my delta flatter or something like that. But right now, we're still in a daily sell, but you can see it's trying to lift like this is trying to lift, which is really weird. This whole thing is really weird, just looking at that. I can't wait to see how the end of the week comes, going to Monday, because I'm convinced that this line is probably going to break hard down. And have we seen something crazy like that before? Let's see. It's been pretty smooth and accurate for a long time, Goes into a buy here. Look at it, roars up, Goes into a sell here. It goes sideways and down. So the weeklies have been pretty good. Stayed down. Goes into a buy here. It takes, roars up again. Goes into a sell here. And we get pressure on the downside. Like that. And catches that whole move down. And the thing that really has me curious is this is really strange to see this thing climb into a buy here. And we go into a sell, and the daily is trying to do its best to get into a buy, and it just cannot do it. I mean, the math is screaming. That's my favorite. Robin used to say that all the time. Too many fish in the net. That's my favorite saying of his. I love that. Too many fish in the net. That's how he views those COT report. Let me just double save the natural gas, and we'll move away from it. And then the last one we pay attention to when it comes to the energies is we watch bean oil. Right there. And you can see bean oil is trying to roll over at the moment. Let's see, let's come into that. And let's refresh this. You can see bean oil. Oh, there you go. Now it stopped. When we reloaded it, it's lifting up still. So it's not breaking down too much at all from the move here. The weekly's been on a weekly tear for, I don't know, since late October. So when it comes to the energies, natural gas and crude oil seem to be trying to roll over a little bit in here. But crude oil is in a weekly buy also. So just a daily sell. Too many fish in the net. I love that expression. So that is the... Shall we take a look at some of the grains because of all this? Let's do that. Let's refresh that to see what's going on. So beans are breaking down, And I think what are we in a sell from yesterday? I guess not. No, there's no line there. We just missed it. So today they're really pressuring into the sell. Yeah. So it's today. It's trying to generate the sell. And then what do we have then? Oh, did I save that? Let me save that. And then corn. Let's see what corn is doing. And then let's check out corn. Corn doing the same thing, trying to roll over today. Let's refresh that. Seems like there's a little selling. Was there a COT report that came out with a lot of stuff on it? Maybe that's what's doing it, huh? You guys are following that stuff. Was there a COT report? Is there a monthly one or weekly one or daily one? I guess there's a daily one, and there's a monthly one, and so forth, I imagine. It does sound familiar to me. I am sometimes paying attention. Sometimes. Robin keeps me in the loop. So let's save that. Oop. And let's see. Then there's corn. Let's move that down too so you can see the chart. So there's corn. Let's see what wheat's doing. Now wheat went into, what is that? Remove. That shouldn't be there. So wheat's in a sell from here, but we're still in that weekly buy also. I mean, I guess, we're awful high up everywhere at this point. I mean, stock markets and grain markets and currency market. I don't know about currency markets, but, grain markets, energy markets, we're like 6-month highs, we're, the whole bit. We're high at a lot of places, stock markets. So I would imagine, we're looking at somebody's got to take a profit. They've got to sell somewhere, you know what I mean? Daniel! Robin came in yesterday and said, what was that, the Daniel Doc show yesterday? What's happening, Daniel? Corn is strongest from the corn, wheat, soybean pair. It has been. Where is it? On the spreadsheet, it's a week ahead of, you can see it there. It's a week ahead of beans. Yeah. So corn is 22 weeks in a buy. Soybeans are 21 weeks in a buy. And corn is 6 weeks in a buy. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's all about. Why that sloppiness is there. But it has been there. And good, we got that saved. So let's do the feeder cattle too. Feeder cattle are looking firm here. I guess if the food comes down, the prices can go up again, right? Prices are already pretty firm now, so that's a good thing for producers. So let's see, and that would be right. Where was that? There's feeders. There we go. Then we did oil, so there's the meal. So meal's been in a daily sell for a couple of days. Look at it. The weekly is really making a threatening move here. When's the last time that thing was in a sell? Was late August. It was in a buy. Went into a sell 1 week and climbed right back out. Wouldn't be surprising if next week we find meal in a sell. Any of you traders out there and producers that know that if meal is the leader sometimes or a lagger, let us know. But at this point in time, you can see the pressure on it. 3 days. This is the third day now on the downside on the meal. And then there's the red wheat. Red wheat's the same way. 3 full days going on a 4th day on the sell. Let's just refresh that. That's that Kansas City / Minneapolis thing going on there. And there is the red wheat. Yeah, especially the producers that might be watching and trading, watching and whatever, talking. If you guys, does anybody have an opinion out there about the idea that meal leads? We'll watch our quant. You can see. Let's go back to that. Let me just save this, the oats, because I noticed the oats were breaking down also. Yeah, so oats broke down 3 days ago. And you can see the weekly there also. It's trying to put some pressure on it also at the same time. See how close it's getting. It's through the time manifold, and now it's starting to flirt with the it has not minus now, but it could go minus, going into next week. Dollar index above yearly VWAP at 90.10. If this continues, we'll have a bullish dollar next month. Huh. When we looked at the Canadian, the Swiss, let's go back to that. When we looked at the Swiss dollar pairs trade, we looked at the channel before you came onto the webinar, and I was thinking that see how this channel went on for like 5 or 6 months. Wouldn't be surprised if our channel goes like the same way, and you get strength, bang up against this black line, pull back up to the black line again, play with it a little bit. Wouldn't surprise me at all. That would make sense, Daniel. I think that makes a lot of sense. So, and you can see the Swiss is in a weekly buy. And let's just see where our UUP is, the ETF. The UUP is, where are you? Right there. Now, I think it went into the sell yesterday, and it's trying to lift up today. So, but it's got a red dot going on there. Yeah, see, it went into the sell yesterday, and now it's trying to lift up today. We'll see if that turns. We're in a weekly buy on that, too. So you're right. There could be some strength here. The daily joins in again. It could be a nice winner chicken dinner. You might get yourselves a nice little pop out of it. The pops don't look more like they carry than in 3 days or so. Notice right here. Goes into the buy here. Carries for like 3 days. We start to get red dots. But then this is in a weekly sell. Let's see what it looked like when it was in a weekly buy. So it was in a weekly buy here. And so that was a little bit better. And then that daily buy lasted 3 days, and then we started playing with the sell again, because we have been in a good downdraft. Goes into the daily buy here, closes that week in a buy, and then you get another massive pop from there. So long as we're in that weekly buy, you sure don't want to short it. That's for sure. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Daniel says about the ruble pair went up today. The most 1.3%. There's a chance that this pair will go into a bull run from 75 basically to 76. Then later to 78. Yeah, we have that here. We've been in a daily buy since here. You can see it on the fact check spreadsheet. What's that? Line 18 maybe? Yeah, line 18. So we are 9 weeks in a sell and 4 days in a buy. And look at that. Looks like we're going to close in a buy this week too. Good action there, Daniel. Thank you. See that, Robin? That's why it is the Daniel and Doc show. Oh, Magoo, you've done it again. There it is right there. Maybe we should take that background and make it a little bit darker. I guess you can't make it. That's too dark, isn't it? All right, we'll just go like that. And so you can see here we're climbing into a weekly buy. Good eye there, Daniel. Good eye. Look at that. And we've been in a buy since here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th day now. We're battling our way into a 5th day. Interesting. We should make that darker. How do we make that darker? Like that? No. Like that? No. Let's go back to that and make it just thicker. That's all, like that. There we go. That makes more sense. So yeah, it looks like we're going to be going into a weekly buy. All right, for you ruble traders, heed Daniel's warning, because the math is aiming in that direction. That's for sure. All right. Where else do we go from here? Anybody see anything else? Don't be shy. Fire it out. I'm always willing to look. We just follow the math. Follow the math and see where it leads us. Now, let's see. Where was I? We were looking at grains, right? Didn't we? I think we saved all the grains, right? That's what we were doing. We looked at all the grains, and we where's it at? Not there. Yeah, right there. So we've seen all the grains, and you can see the action that we're seeing here. I wanted to look at meal again. I think it was because meal seems to be the leader here, and you can see the weeklies doing it. And then when you go and look at beans itself, well, it rolled over too, but it's having a harder time, that's for sure. And the weekly's still not scary on any level. So I just thought I'd just throw that out there. Shall we take a look at the stock indices? We could do that. Let's check those out on the way the action's going. Yesterday, the Russell closed in a sell, and I think NQs are doing some type of flirtation. No, they're not doing the flirtation, but the Dow and the Russell are doing are having issues. I can tell you that. So let's reload that. So there's the Nasdaq kind of towards the low of the day. Today, that is. So it's still holding up in its buy. Where is that at? NQ. And that's the on Dukascopy. That is the there it is right there. The Tech 100. Let's put that up there. There you go. That's the Tech 100. And oh, that's an hourly. No wonder that. Look at that. It's been one big long draft on the sell side for hours now. And there's the daily. And there's the daily again. Let's just show you to you. Yeah. See, it's been popped up through this line here. So now, did I say that? I think I did. Let's just do it again because we were rambling. Rambly. Then, yes, there we are. And then let's take a look at S&P 500. S&P 500, again, also, like the the Tech 100 or Nasdaq 100 is doing the same thing. It's trying to put pressure on the downside again there. And I can show, now we'll show you the other two indices that we watched, the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the Russell 2000. The Russell, you can see here, closed in a daily sell yesterday, and it's breaking down, but it's still in the weekly buy like the other three. So we'll put that in there. And then the Dow is following in the footsteps of the funny two pairs that follow each other, but the Dow is doing the same thing. It's trying to, went into, no, that can't be a buy because it's got a red and a green, so that's got to be removed. So that's still in a sell. So that's been in a sell since here. Is it here? Or no, there. I guess that's what it is, there. So it's in a sell from here, but we're in a weekly buy, so you can't take the short. It's brought it back up, and now it's heading back down again to it. Let's give it a refresh. Now that's wonderful. It did put it into the buy there last night. Okay. So it's in the buy there. No wonder why I had the buy stick lines there. And now it's trying to go into the sell today, which is real curious. And it's been in the sell since here. Then it went into the buy there, pretty much higher. But the thing is, it's in a weekly buy, so you don't have much of a choice. It's a neutral position for us. And so be careful of these indices. They may put a little profit taking into this game. Yes. You have so much money made, you got to take some of it. You know what I mean? Let's see. Daniel says, since October of 2020, cable pair climbed steadily from 29 all the way to 36 in the 36 area. Let's take a look at that. Let's see. Back over to the Forex, and there's the cable. And we were in a buy. Yes, what does he say? October. October? Yeah, October. Yeah, so we've been in a buy since here and climbed from, what is that? That's the 129 area. 29 and a half. And we're still in that buy from this weekly buy. Yeah, it's been an interesting run. Very interesting run. Alrighty. Anything else out there? That was a good one too. I just want to save the two bonds. Let me go back to this and save the two. Oh, let's take a look at Bitcoin. We didn't look at Bitcoin out of the indices. I know it's up firm today. So let's just check that out. There's Bitcoin. It's coming back. Made new lows overnight. And you can see it's at the highs of the day now. Almost, I guess it's almost unchanged. Yesterday it settled at 875, and right now it's trading at 885. So it's $10 higher. That's it. So it's pretty much unchanged. And they made a low down to 28,900, which was closed at 31.8. So it dropped $3,000 from 31,800 to 28,900. So it dropped close to $3,000, and now it's trying to climb back up. Daniel says, I'm thinking if GBP climbs to 38, if the dollar starts going down. You know, I keep on thinking that they want to put that. Don't ask me, because of the news being so crazy, how it can happen, but I keep on thinking that it wants to climb into the 38s. You know, just the way the action is. Maybe because they're free from their overlords, the European Union, you know. So that's what we're seeing here. Matter of fact, cancel. Let's do this too. Cancel. All right. Something's wrong here. Oh, I see. Cancel there. Okay. Let's do this. Let's put the line in there too. So it's flirting with a daily buy. We'll see if that lasts into the weekend. You know how this thing goes. This thing likes to fly on weekends. So now all those stories have come out and they're using 100-to-1 leverage, no wonder it can fly over weekends. You know, I mean, they just buy a 50-to-1 leverage. They put out, you know, $28,000 and they're long $2.8 million, something like that. You know, it's no wonder the thing is flying around the way it is. And you know, that COT thing, they say that Wall Street is not long this product. That report came out and said no one is long this thing in Wall Street, whereas everybody's telling you to be long in Wall Street. They're not long it. That's classic Wall Street, of course. They're trying to hawk you something. So that's the Bitcoin, and then there's the, what else do we follow in here? I guess that's about it. Let's take a look at the 30-year bond. 30-year bond is still in a buy. It tried to go into the sell yesterday, but changed at the end of the day there. Let's see, right there. And then I'll just refresh that too. And then let's take a look at the 10-year. 10-year is acting the same way. There it is right there. And it gave us a little volatility signal, but you can see it's moving up nicely today. Let's refresh it anyway. I see Middle Age says, could you look at J.O. Coffee? Thanks. Sure. Yeah, I think we saved that for you too. Let's take a look at it. You know, you can always, yeah, you can always ask for any of this stuff. It doesn't matter to me. Let's see. What am I saving here? Oh, yes. 10-year bond. There we are. Now let's go find it. Oh, Magoo. Let's see. I know we put it somewhere, didn't we? Where did we put it? Let's see. I know I put it somewhere. So close. I know where it is. Let's close that. And I know where I put it. Open the combo. That's where it's at. It's over here. There it is right there. Let's give it a refresh. So it's in a daily sell from here. Hasn't really gone down too much. Today it's trading there. It's still down but trying to lift. So I guess I should put a little red line in there like that. Like that. So it went into the sell there 4 days back. And the weekly is still holding up. See that there? The weekly is still holding up. So they're really not pushing that down too hard. That was what? Coffee, J.O., right? Yeah. No, Daniel. You're wrong. I'm ready to say this to you. You're wrong. They'll get long it at 90, not 50. Yeah. So it'll go to 100,000, trade back down to 50, and they'll get their heads handed to them. Yeah. Uh, you're right. You're totally right, Daniel. They will find a way to buy it at the wrong price. You know that they will. You're totally right there. I just don't give them as much credit as you do. You think they'll buy it at 50. I say they buy it at 90. I have to say this. The guys at Guggenheim have stepped up and done well there since they did so bad in stocks, So that's pretty much the gist of that at the moment is that that's at least one fund who made it very clear that they were stepping up. They bought over $500 million worth in the $17,000 area, and it's doubled. So, they were out of their stock position to a great extent. So, take that for what it is. But, and I always think the guy from Guggenheim is always way off course. But he did finally step up to something, which makes me scared when you really think about it, since the guy seems to be, wrong way Peabody all the time. It's like you got to worry. Maybe what will happen is it'll run to 90, and he'll probably double up again, and then it'll fall back to 50. Something like that. That would not surprise me any, because that guy from Guggenheim seems to be wrong all the time. Let's see. Daniel says, "Oh yeah, You want to take a look at? Let's take a look at Apple." I was just saving this. I have it right there. I just want to save that. What's that? That's SPY. And then there it is right there. There's Apple. It's been a daily buy for 3 days. Let's just refresh that. Been in a weekly buy for since the 118 area, 116 area, something like that, and then it went into a sell here. Right, going went into the sell here after the volatility signal at the top, which is pretty cool. Had a volatility signal at the bottom too, which is really cool, and then another volatility signal here and went sideways, and then we went to the buy here at the 132ish area. And what's it done? It's traded up to the 139 area. So that's apple dapple. Cool, huh? Let's see. Daniel says Doc long at 90 to 100. Not really late in the... Yeah, they'll be late in the game. They will. They'll be like trying to convince, every schlug in the world that now it's time to be long the cryptos when they've probably topped out, or, profit taking will kick in, that type of thing. There's the dollar index. As we were talking about earlier, it just needs to change its dot there. If the dot goes green by the end of the day, they push it up just a little bit more, we could be seeing some real buying. Now we see here the two dashes are still high. We're using a gas line 3. We should be, this thing needs to get plus to get this thing to go. But we are in that weekly buy, so that's cool. Let's see. So no, Wall Street, supposedly that COT thing, the Wall Street is not long Bitcoin. They tell everybody to get long, and they're not long themselves. Yeah, I mean, everybody, Wall Street is saying 100,000, 200,000. Isn't Citibank got a 300,000 thing out there? Morgan Stanley has a 100,000 thing out there. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cheering going on. Oh, who asked for coffee? Was that Middle Age? Yeah, Middle Age. What's that? That's cotton, right? Look at cotton. Check out cotton. Trying to make a pop up there. Look at it. We're getting a volatility signal. So last time, there's a volatility signal there. They got a good pop out of it the next day. Any other good ones? Not really. There's one right there. Didn't make much sense. It's in the weekly buy still. Where's the histogram? What's up with the histogram? Why is that invisible? There we go. Yeah, look at the histogram. So it's, it's been climbing on the weekly pretty comfortably. All right, traders. What else we got going on here? Daniel says a lot of top stocks that were up yesterday are now down in pre-market. Not even Apple. Let's just go take a look at Apple real quick. Yeah, Apple's down. It closed yesterday at 86.87, and right now it's trading at 35.61. So it's down $1 and change. Here, let's do this before we run away. Run away, run away. Let's do this. Here, check this out. Here's that whole quant universe right there. We'll put that up, and I'll show you Amazon and Google and a few of the others, and then we will sing you away. You see Tesla's breaking down there today. Tesla closed yesterday at 844.99, and it's trading at 831, so it's $12 down. Amazon is closed at was that basically 307, and it's trading at 286. BABA, same situation, 59.86, 55.65. CME has been selling for days now. Facebook had lifted with the inauguration of Biden, and it's holding firm here. Let's widen that a little bit. I guess it's down too. So it closed yesterday at 72.87. It's trading at 71.18, so it's down $1 and change. And there's Google. Google's doing the same thing. Closed yesterday at 84 and is now trading at 71. So yeah, you're getting. There's Goldman. Goldman's went into the sell 3 days ago. This is the 4th day in a sell now for Goldman Sachs. Netflix rolling over from yesterday, but still in its buy. NVDA, same situation. Oh, it's down lower. Yep, you're right. Very clear signal. Thank you. All right. This is Doc from North America. Everybody have a safe and smart weekend. We will catch you all on Monday. No holiday. It's a normal trading day. So we'll see you on TGIM. Thank goodness it's Monday. Doc from North America saying arrivederci. Happy trails to you until we meet again Monday. Happy trails to you, to all.